What's going on, everybody? Rust and Peaches here with a brand new video, and today what we're going to be going over is a casual deck that I like to play this deck when I'm just having fun with my friends. I want to say that this is a pretty budget deck going on here. There's nothing too crazy. Anything can be swapped out for something cheaper or more expensive. The main focus of this deck, because it is an Eldrazi deck, is to duplicate your Eldrazi's. It's a really fun deck. It's really funny when it works out. It has a pretty high success rate. I've played it against some of the newer Eldrazi decks, and it's fun. It's pretty budget. I'm going to start showing off the cards here, starting with mana. But yeah, it's super fun, duplicating Eldrazi's never gets old, I should say. So we're going to start out with 3 Darksteel Citadels. The 3 Darksteel Citadels are so that you don't end up blowing up too much of your own stuff. I like them because you can't destroy them, and in a deck that is running a board wipe involving your mana, it's not too smart to run all colored mana. So we're going to be running those two Evolving Wilds to pull out the colors you need for any color fixing, 4 Mountains, 5 forests, because we are going to need forests before we need mountains. 3 islands, because we're not running too many things with blue. There's just a very small amount of things with blue in here. 3 swamps. 2 Eldrazi temples. A Savage Lands. And last but not least, 1 Eye of Ugin that I'm not sure if I pulled it in a pack or if we went out of our way to get it, but that's pretty much it for the mana. Now, when we get into the drops for our 0 drops, because we do have 1 0-drop Everflowing Chalice. With Everflowing Chalice, you're going to be able to charge that up. You're going to be able to multi-kick it if you're late into the game. With a couple of the cards I'll be bringing up, you'll be able to multi-kick it quite a few times to get a whole bunch of free mana out of it. You kind of want to draw this later in the game, which is why there's only 1, because if you have more than 1, there's a high chance of you drawing it early game, which you don't want it in your hand. We're running 2 Elixirs of Immortalities, mostly because of the board wipes that we have. So, kind of like regenning your deck, so to speak. We have 1 Sphere of the Suns, so it comes in with 3 counters on it. You can tap it, remove a counter, and add 1 mana of any color. Really good with your mana fixing and keeping it out to keep your board wipes from wiping your own cards. Also, for the 2 drops, we have Nest Invaders. So when Nest Invader comes out, you get a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi token that you sacrifice for mana, which is always good. We have Essence Scatter, just 1 Essence Scatter to counter a target creature spell, just so you can kind of bounce one thing. It's not really that big of a deal. You could literally switch it out for many other things, anything that you personally like or anything that you personally feel will go into the deck better. But this is where the deck starts getting really fun. So 4 Twin Flames. I'm not sure how much these are going for, but I know I pulled them all in packs and nobody wanted them, and I traded for a couple of extra ones I have at the house because I was looking at this and thinking of, Splinter Twins is banned in most formats. This is basically a cheap Splinter Twin, especially with its Strive cost. So for 2 mana, you make a copy of any target creature out, and they gain haste, and then at the end step, they get exiled. But with something like Nest Invader, he's still going to trigger as to where you're going to get your 0/1 tokens, along with many of the other cards in here that give you your Eldrazi tokens. We have 1 Alloy Mirror to just kind of mana fix a little bit. I don't like that he's a 3-drop for that, but, you got to do what you got to do when it's budget. So next is going to be for our 3 drops. Cathodion. Now, Cathodion I kind of like for the fact that he does, when he dies, you add 3 mana to your mana pool, so the 3 mana can be used freely. Just kind of mana fixing a little bit, nothing too crazy, very average, just adding a little bit of mana because all the bigger Eldrazi's are colorless, so you're not going to need too many colors when it gets into that. So for our 4 drops, we're going to start with 1 Splinter Twin that I pulled in a pack. Like I said, this is a budget deck, so you don't need to go out of your way to get a Splinter Twin. The four Twin Flames work just fine, but the Splinter Twin is just kind of like another a little buffer, like a haha, you know, to do that to someone in a casual game. We do have a Lux Cannon in here, so every turn you tap it, you add a counter to it. Once you get 3 counters on it, you can destroy a permanent. If you can get this out early enough, it actually will help. And even if you get it out late and you can hold them off for 3 turns, then you're good to go. You'll be able to blow something up. Also, for our 4 drops, we have Kozilek's Predator. So when he comes out, you're actually going to get 2 of the Eldrazi spawns that sacrifice for mana. Another, let's see, we're going to go into 5 drops here. So our 5 drops are going to be Brood Warden. He's going to give all of the spawns +2/+1. Only one of him because he doesn't really help the deck too much. He'll just keep your spawns alive just in case. Consume the Meek, so destroy each creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. They can't be regenerated, so if you're playing against someone who keeps making tokens or 1/1s or whatever you need them to be, they can all be dead with Consume the Meek. Now, you will be killing your Eldrazi spawns, but to be fair, by the time you're playing Consume the Meek, it's already pretty late game, and I hope that you don't have a bunch of Eldrazi spawns out when you should be playing the big boys. So for turn 5, we have this buddy right here who gives you 2 colorless Eldrazi spawns, which does help. The 2 colorless Eldrazi spawns does absolutely help you out. But 2 of him, because he's a little bit of a bigger card for 5 mana, you can duplicate him with Twin Flame. He is super good with that combo. Going into the 6 drops, Conduit of Ruin. So he just kind of lets you pull out one of the other bigger dudes. Once you play him, you pull out a 7 or greater converted mana cost from your deck, put it into your hand, reveal it, and then the first colorless creature you cast each turn is 2 less to cast. So you can actually play some of the bigger dudes for much less when your mana is tapping for 2 for the bigger Eldrazi, or you're playing all the colorless big dudes, they're costing 2 less. Another 6 drop we have in the deck is Progenitor Mimic. I really do want to get 4 of him, because what he does is he enters the battlefield as a copy of a card that you have out, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, he actually copies into another copy, and they just keep copying. So he's super funny with some of the ones that either make tokens, or Desolator Twin here, where he keeps duplicating Desolation Twins and just keeps making 10/10s all over the board, but we'll get into that in a second. So our 7 drops are actually going to be 2 All Is Dusts. Now, I love the art on this and what it does, because once you get one of the big dudes out with Annihilator or anything like that, you can really kind of just blow out your opponent. It's a really fun deck to play against and for, because it's kind of this race of time to hope that they're not going to get all these big things out. Now, we do have an 8 drop, which is Ulamog's Crusher. You know, an 8/8 for 8. It's a common card. I'm sure it's as cheap as can be. He plays out really quickly. He attacks each turn if able, and that Annihilator 2 really makes him worth it. Because with Annihilator 2, when he swings, your opponent has to sacrifice 2 of their permanents before they can actually do anything. So they can't respond to that. Once you say you're attacking with him, they do have to immediately sack 2 permanents. So 2 lands, 2 creatures, 2 planeswalkers, 2 artifacts or enchantments. Whatever they have to sack. So we do have a 9 drop here. Artisan of Kozilek. When you cast him, you can actually return a creature from the graveyard to the battlefield, and then he also has Annihilator 2. So once again, with Annihilator, you swing, they have to sack things, and when you play him, you can actually bring back like an Ulamog's Crusher, or maybe one of the big dudes that your opponents had you discard. So for 10 drops, we do have 2 Desolation Twins. They're super fun. I mean, that's it. When you play one, you get a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token. So you play one, and you get another one for free. So if you can duplicate him every turn with the Splinter Twin, it's just going to be a really fun time. Funny, because you get to keep the token, but the copy of Desolation Twin actually leaves the battlefield. And then last but not least, we do have a 12 drop. We have It That Betrays. He's got Annihilator 2, and then whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, you actually gain control of that card. So from all these Annihilators going out, you're actually going to be stealing your opponent's cards from them. So a quick overview of the deck is a couple strategies I would say that would work the best would be like Desolation Twin with Splinter Twin on it. You could also Twin Flame Desolation Twin into an extra combo, or you could Twin Flame and It That Betrays. You can Twin Flame a Progenitor Mimic to have the Mimic become a token of a creature to make a token. So like if you Progenitor Mimic your Desolation Twins, you're going to get another token. And then if you Twin Flame Progenitor Mimic, you're actually going to get a third token of the token. And then also if you Splinter Twin Progenitor Mimic at the beginning of the turn, your Progenitor Mimic's going to become another Desolation Twin. And then if you tap it, it's actually going to become another one. So this combo right here, I don't think I've ever seen anybody use it, but it's fun. I would like to get 4 Progenitor Mimics, like I was saying. The Splinter Twins might be a little bit out of most people's price range, but that's pretty much it. I'm going to see if I can put a deck list down below. If it's not down below, I do apologize because there's a lot of cards, a lot of big words, a lot of typing, but thank you guys so much for watching. This is Rest in Peaches with Deck Techs. And, you guys have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment down below if you have any opinions about the deck or if you want to know anything else. But I really do appreciate each and every one of you.